Hi guys, this is Unit 8, Lesson 3, and I totally just taught this whole lesson and it wouldn't upload, so we'll try it again, but I've already got my notes on the paper. Today I will describe the distribution of data by reviewing the shape of the graph. So all we're doing is plotting data and then looking at the shape and determining what the shape is. There's a name for each shape. Remember, this is statistics. We are collecting data or data. Data is like numbers, words, measurements, observations. We're actually today is going to be a line plot. It's also called a dot plot. And it's just a graph that shows so this was number of mystery books read. 3 people read 1 mystery book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people read 2 mystery books. So you're just collecting data and you're plotting it on a number line. So let me show you what I did so far when my video didn't work. So a peak is going to be if you were to trace your data once you plot it on your line. If you have 2 high points like that, you have a peak. Clusters and gaps, if you were to circle and you have nothing in the middle, that's your gap, and those are the clusters. Normal distribution just looks like a hill, like that. Uniform distribution is kind of like a flat hill. Left skewed, like this one, is when the tail skews left, and then right skew would be when the tail goes right. All right, so basically what you do is you just make your number line and you decide how, so I've got all my numbers in here and I'm just going to, every time I see like 1 1/4, I put an X. Every time I see 1 1/2, I put an X. So I ended up with 3, 3, 1, 1, and 1. And because if I were to draw a line on this, it is right skewed. So the tail goes to the right, that means it's right skewed. The other one, this was this kid Steve wanted to know how many home runs were scored last Friday by all the teams in the town softball league. So what he did is he took the amount of home runs they got, and it varied from 0 to 9. So all I did was make my number line. I knew if I had 0 to 9, I needed to number 0 to 9 or 10. And then everywhere, so what I would do is I'd take the 0, I'd put an X and mark it off. 2, I'd put an X, mark it off. By the time I was done, I had 2 X's here. There should be 15 numbers or X's. So there's 15 numbers here. That means there needs to be 15 X's here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15. That just tells me I didn't accidentally mess up. And leave a point out. So this one has a gap, so it's clusters and gap because there's no data here. All right. For this one, it became a bell, and I'm just going to show you on this one. I'll just do this one all over again. So I went ahead and I put my number line. I knew my lowest number was a 1 or 1 1/4, and the highest was 2 3/4. So I decided to number my number line between 1 and 3 and count by fourths. So this is 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. All right, then I just looked up here and I'd cross it off as I put the X. So 2 1/4, I put an X and cross it off. 2, put an X, cross it off. 1 1/3, put an X, cross it off. 1 1/4, X, cross it off. 2 1/4, now I have another X. 2, cross it off. Don't forget to cross it off because you might lose your place. 1 3/4 would be right here. 2 1/4 right here. 1 3/4 right here. Oops. Another 2, another 2, and 2 3/4. Okay, so this because it goes up like a hill and comes back down, even though there's a gap here, because it gradually goes up and then back down, this would be a bell. It looks like a hill. Okay, if you're not getting this, don't worry. We have more practice tomorrow. Hopefully I can get this video thing working once and for all. Okay, structured guided practice. Go ahead and pause this and then come back and see if you got it right. Okay, are you back? So all you needed to do was find the smallest number was a 0, the biggest number was a 10. Make your number line. So let's do that. And we can count by ones because they're all whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is for the number of days absent at a soda company. How many days were the delivery drivers absent in 1 year? So once you have your line set up, just start graphing data. So there's 110 there. Just put an X, cross it off. There's a 2, cross it off. There's an 8, cross it off. There's a 1, cross it off. 8, 7, 0, 6. Oops, I should put it right a little bit above. 2 zeros, 2 ones, and an 8. Okay, so this is going to be a cluster and gap. See how it doesn't gradually come up to a hill? And then this is a gap. So cluster and gap. And if you guys, I kind of cruised by it, but you can see these, remember these show you. So cluster and gap, it's not a gradual hill. It's all of a sudden like a big building almost. It's like buildings. All right. Go ahead and do your structured guided practice for number 2 and pause this, do it, and then come back and see if you got it right. Really, pause it. I know you're cheating. Pause it and try to work it out on your own. Okay, are you back? Okay, same thing. So I did this twice for some reason. I don't want to do it a third time, but this is another cluster and gap. Because there's a cluster, it's not a gradual hill. Clusters look like this, like that. And the bell is more like that, okay? All right, now you're going to do your final check for understanding. And you'll also have homework. The homework is a spiral review. Eddie had 9 papers on his desk. His teacher gave him some more papers and now he has 19. How many papers did his teacher give him? Use a fact family to solve the equation. This is like pretty basic. If Eddie had 9 papers on his desk, his teacher gave him some more papers and now he has 19. So he has 19. He had 9. His teacher gave him 10. A fact family would be this. 9, 10, 19. Okay, so use a scale model to solve. Okay, you should be able to do all these. Remember, inverse is flip, change, keep, change, flip. And tape diagram. See if you guys can remember how to do a tape diagram. Remember, I will go over these tomorrow in our meeting. And then you have 1 dot plot to do for homework. Okay. Happy homeworking. Bye, guys.